All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm sorry, report training went a little bit late, but we're going to get started with our group training now. I know there's going to be a few more faces that pop on later, and I am recording because I know we've got a lot of people who couldn't make it tonight. So hopefully we can cover a little bit of stuff. Now, I'm really excited because you guys have had an amazing August. I think we had, 145 new customers within the team, and we had 20 new people join the team. So that is just phenomenal. It's such a really good reflection of, the heart that you guys have and the amount of passion that you have behind sharing both the business and the customers. So it's really exciting, and it makes my job so easy when I have so many amazing people reflecting that work. So thank you so much, and welcome to everybody who may be tuning in for the first time. I know we've got a lot of those new faces on, and I'm so excited because so many of the people that I've met so far are so ready for this, and they're so, set for SDVF. I know a couple have already hit there already, but, we're so ready for SDVF, and they're so ready to set their sights on qualifying and doing the big things in this business. So that gets me excited because that was me when I first started. I really wanted to just slam at it, and it's been an absolute godsend for me. The business has been phenomenal. The amount of shit that I've got out of it personally, financially, emotionally, it's irreplaceable. So I'm excited for all you guys to start to experience it. So tonight I just wanted to welcome everybody into the team, and I really wanted to just share with you guys a little bit about why I started this team, and just to give you a bit of a background. I know when I first started, I had just, my close frontline, and they kind of knew the story, but as we grow, it's gotten harder, and I just want to make sure that we still have that personal connection, because I believe that's what makes our team so beautiful, and that's what makes the momentum move faster, because we're all authentic and real with ourselves. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I started 7 months ago, and I started from a place of having absolutely no idea what Juice Plus was. Des, you're fine. I'm just glad you're here. Have you got clothes on? I hope so. There's kids here, Desi. All right, so I started 7 months ago, and, I had no idea what it was. I talk about it. My friend from school, Lauren, we hadn't really seen each other in like 10 years because she'd been off gallivanting around the world. But she was doing this crazy thing, and I thought it was some scam or crazy pyramid thing, and I never really paid much attention. She tried to broach the subject with me, and I just wasn't open to it. And it didn't really get into a phase where I was in a really shitty period of life. I was quite down and out, and I had no other options. I had 2 traditional businesses that were zapping all my time and energy, and I had 2 small kids who just weren't seeing the financial benefits of having 2 businesses, and I just felt stuck. So I'm going to say it was a moment of weakness, really. I went and had coffee with her, and to be honest, it was the best damn coffee I'd ever had, because it's turned my life around. So if you're in here and you're feeling a little bit anxious like that, no, it's totally normal. We all feel that way at the start, but we're all here to support and help you as well. Now, I'm a very spiritual person. I grew up with a mum who was very spiritual. She did a lot of work on herself, and she actually, if I go into it, I might get a little bit emotional, but she's very unwell. When I grew up, she was very unwell, and being the crazy person that she was, she used to talk to her angels, and, she'd meditate every night, and she'd envision her cells getting better, and she really put a lot of work into herself, and everybody, me included, thought she was a little bit nuts. But she actually healed herself. Like, she got to a stage where she had no more of this condition inside her body after 40 years. So it got me to realize that there's so much more out there that, she was talking to her cells from her energy level, and everybody thinks that's crazy. Her doctors thought she was crazy, and it just got me thinking that there's so much power out there that we're not understanding. So when this business came into my life, and I was at that really shit stage, I was at a time of awakening as well. I started realizing that I didn't want to live life like this anymore. I didn't want to work constantly doing things that other people wanted me to do. You know, I was giving my time to my dancing students all the time. I was giving my time to my family daycare people all the time, and I felt like I was missing myself. So that's why I'm Team Love, because I came into a part of my life where I needed to love myself so hard, and I knew the power of love. So I came into it, and I really wanted to give that to you guys as well. So that's the name. That's why we're Team Love. That's why I find that I'm so grateful for all of you guys, because you all have really big hearts, and it just makes this place a really good and safe place to come. And what I wanted to highlight is, I know we've had a little bit of drama on the page over the last couple of days, but I want you guys to know that the team page is a safe place to come. Okay, so if you're having a bad day or something's reacting and you're not feeling comfortable, or you're feeling kind of pissed off about something, that's totally okay, and it's totally normal. It will happen in life. But please make sure that you go and you take the right avenues to keep that page safe for everybody else. Okay, now I'm going to put my hand up, and I know there's a few of you on here who I've talked personally with it about as well, but I suffer from depression and anxiety quite bad when it comes, and I know that there's some beautiful women in this team who suffer worse than I do. So for me, Team Love is a place that we come, and it's full of motivation and inspiration and passion, and I don't want to see any shit on that page. Okay, I know sometimes this business really irks you. Head office can irk you, and customers can be shit, and people can give you shit, and that's okay. You know, that's life's journey, and it will happen. I'm not going to say, you know, we need to avoid reality, but please just make sure that that page is love, because that's all that is going to push us forward. Any fear is just going to hold us back. Okay, yeah. So that's just a little bit about why we are what we are, and that we're going to be so different. You know, for those of you who are coming to 90-day game plan, this business is full of passionate and motivated people, but our team has such a beautiful heart and so many fulfilling people, and I really just wanted to thank you for that, because you guys are those people. You're attracting those people, and it just makes me so grateful. I don't want to be a sook, but it just makes me so grateful. But at that, you know, I want to make sure that I'm giving back to you guys at 100% as well, because you guys give me so much. So please just make sure that if you're ever having any issues, if you're struggling, if you're stuck, and I'm going to say those words, I know we're not supposed to, but it happens. If you're feeling them, come to me and come to your uplines. And if you don't think it's being dealt with properly, okay, go to Lauren, go to Linda, talk to somebody, because there's so many people in here that nobody should feel alone or ostracized or anything whatsoever. All right, so I'm getting away from the mushy stuff because I'm so bloody emotional these days, and I will just keep crying. But I wanted to talk a little bit about belief, because I know it is this business. It looks like any other business from the outside. You know, you sell Juice Plus in a capsule, fruit and veg, awesome. It doesn't seem like anything special, but once you get involved, you realize that it's a fucking crazy emotional roller coaster, and you start to grow, and you start to feel things, and you start to feel challenged, and you evolve, and it gets really crazy. You think, you know, how did this come from such a simple multi-level marketing company? But you are going to start to feel those things, and you're going to start hitting walls. You know, you're going to start knocking into things and going, why the fuck aren't I getting team? You know, I'm a good person. I'm doing the right thing. Why isn't my business growing? You know, I like to think that this is the vessel for the universe to go, you know what? It's a smack in the face, because there's something that's holding you back in life. And it could be something so little. You know, like for me, I was a people pleaser. It could be the fact that you're trying to put other people in front of your business. Okay? And, you know, that's not what life is about. Life is about caring and sharing and giving love, but it's not about putting you last. Okay? You're the only real thing in your life, so you need to make sure that you come first, because if you come first, then everything else will fall into place. Okay? So if you have limiting beliefs around the business, you can't be successful, or you don't want to join team because they're going to think that you're not a good leader, or, you know, you don't want to come across as one of those people. These are all types of things that are quite common. And, you know, for me, myself, I I hope you don't mind me using you as an example, Trine, but Trine said something in our group chat the other day that really struck me, because it was exactly how I felt coming into the business. You know, I came in looking from the outside and I was so aware of what it looks like to other people, because I was one of those people, and I didn't see the value behind the business and the value behind the product. So looking at Lauren, I didn't see it. So I wanted to make sure that when people came in, they knew that I absolutely adored the product, and I kind of pushed the product so strongly, and I forgot about the fact that it's a two-way street. Like, in this business, you need to have the products and you need to have the business. You know, but I didn't want people to think, well, if I'm pushing the business, they think I'm just going to want to make money. You know, and that was my mentality, and it's a limiting belief, because who the fuck cares if you want to make money? Everybody makes money. We run businesses to make money. You know, we can't pay our bills and look after our families if we don't have money. So, you know, you've really got to step back and think, well, why am I thinking that? And why do I allow that to hold me back? Because, you know, if I was to worry about, oh, I don't want, you know, my friend to buy the capsules from me and then know that I'm making money from it. But, you know, I could work in a lingerie shop and somebody could come in and buy off me, and that would be fine. You know, there's so much second guessing that we do in this business, and you can either use it as your advantage, so you can use it as an opportunity to grow, or you can shrink back and think, oh, fuck, this is scary. Help out, please. So really just don't be frightened to face them. You know, if you push them down every time and you think, you know, I don't deserve this, or I'm not strong enough to be a leader, or I'm not inventive enough to be a leader, or I can't inspire people, you know, all this different type of shit, it's holding you, you know. And if you just let it sit there and you don't face it, it's not going to go there. Okay, so it's really important that you not just work on your belief, but you're aware of what your limits are. Okay, and that's not only going to help your business. So it's not going to make your business boom. It's going to make your personal life grow as well, because you'll stop being that pushover person. You know, for me, I was that reflection of me. I hope you don't mind me using that train. It's just that that was me. That was me 100%. So for me, I didn't want that. But, you know, I went back and I looked at it and I thought, well, why don't I want to make money? Why don't I want them to know that I'm making money? And I actually delved deeper and deeper and deeper, and I realized that I was frightened of money. To me, money was stress, and money meant that I was pompous, or that I was walking over people to get it. And it was really sad, but that was just the vision of people that I've had in my life. The people who were wealthy weren't nice people. So I was so frightened to be wealthy and to show people that I was wealthy, or that I wanted to be wealthy, because I didn't want them associating me with that negative attitude. But you know what? I had to realize that was my shit. Nobody else felt that way. That was me. And it was me holding myself back from growing a strong team and being where I am today. But if I had have just sat in it and just thought, nah, fuck, this is scary. You know, I don't want to deal with that thought. I wouldn't have grown, and I wouldn't have been able to overcome it. So what I want you guys to know is that, yes, it's scary, and you're going to meet spots where you think, I don't even want to think any deeper. But it's so much going to be beneficial in the long run. And just know that we're here. Like, it's so scary for me to think, you know, somebody said to me during the week, and it really kind of rocked me, that I was above everybody. And that just really hurt my feelings, because I thought, there's nothing about me that's any different from any of you guys, bar the fact that I've been in here 7 months longer. And I've really been able to knuckle down, because I was so ready in my stage of life to tackle anything that fucking got in my way. And, you know, it was just because of my path that I'm on, and the personal shit that I dealt with before coming into this business, that I was ready to do that. But I understand for you guys and a lot in the team, you're not at that stage yet, and you may not be. You know, for a few years yet. You may just want to ponder along and be okay to do what you can fit in around work and around that kind of stuff. But just know that if anything comes up that makes you feel uncomfortable, or you want to be honest and you say, look, I'm not getting team, what's happening to me? Or I'm not getting customers, what do you think it is? Jump on a coaching call with me and let me work it through with you. Okay, that's what we're here for. And we're not some superpower that sits up on top of you in a rank. We're literally people who have walked the same path of you, but just done it a little bit before. So we've got a little bit more understanding of how the business works. So I just want you guys to know that at no stage do I ever want you guys to feel that I'm some superhuman, because it will never happen. I have struggles just like all of you guys, and we all go through the same stuff. And you'd be surprised, if we actually got down and started talking, you'd realize that I have the same shit as you guys. I have the same issues about posting. Even now, I think, should I do a business post, or am I going to look spammy? You have those doubts. You're not going to grow one day and just be superhuman and be an NMD. Like, you're going to really have to work on it, and you'll have to work on your belief as well. But, what I wanted to do tonight is to really get back to something that helps me out when I feel like I'm losing belief, because I know I must be just generating it to the universe lately, but I've had some beautiful people message me during this week who are struggling mentally, and they've either been in the business brand new and they feel out of depth, or they've been in the business for a couple of months and not much is happening. Okay, and that's where the belief will come in. But if you're not ready to focus on the belief yet, or if you're struggling mentally, or you're feeling anxious or anything like that, I just wanted to give you guys a few ideas of what works for me to really bring me back and to help me get back on track, in hopes that maybe you can utilize them as well. All right, so for me, my biggest one is being aware of what you're thinking. Now, if you're like me and you get anxious, or you feel like sometimes you may feel down and things like that, imagine that you have a beautiful, if you can think of it like a beautiful pole of light going through you. Okay, I like to think that it's right in front of my spine, and it comes right down through my my top chakra here. Okay, and it's a beautiful white light. If anybody's ever meditated, it is that type of love. Like, if you have held your baby for the first time, or you see a brand new puppy and your heart just melts, it's that pure form of love that we should all be harnessing, but we let life get in the way, and shit gets crazy. So what I want you guys to think about is that beautiful beam just going through you. It's a beautiful light. Okay, and if you're having a shit day, or you're feeling depressed, or somebody has knocked the business, or someone said no to you, because I know that's scary at the start, just focus back on that light and focus back on that love, and really realize that there's nothing that can hurt you in this. You either grow from it or you don't. So really just bring your awareness back to what's really going on. Think about why you may be having those feelings, and just focus back on that light and that love, and just move forward through it if you can, if you possibly can. All right, hang on. So, cool. All right, so for any of you guys who are feeling at all worried or overwhelmed, really try to keep that mindfulness in check. So if you're having those days where you feel stressed out, or you feel like stuff isn't working, I would love to kind of recommend to you guys to meditate. If you haven't done before, it's an amazing way of stopping that chatter and that shit that goes on in your head, because it's those thoughts that perpetuate worry and perpetuate anxiety. And most of those time, like 95% of what we think about is never going to happen. Okay, it's just in there constantly causing a battle and chaos, and that's what makes us feel nervous or fearful or anything like that regarding the business. It does help you go to sleep, Brands. I love it. Okay, so meditating is simply, if you haven't done it before, it's as easy as closing your eyes and focusing on squashing those thoughts. Okay, for me, you just focus on your breath. If you can't stop your mind and you find yourself zapping here and there and thinking about different type of shit, just stop it and imagine the breath going up and down your body as you breathe. Okay, because that will calm your thoughts, and it'll really put your thoughts into a kind of one-track mind. In that state of beauty and that state of peace, where you're not fearing what could happen tomorrow, or you're not, stressing about things, magic fucking happens. It really does. Like, you will start to feel stronger. You'll start to feel clarity. You'll start to know that, what you're worrying about doesn't matter. So if you're stressing out at the start of this business and you're thinking, fuck, I don't want to post, what are people going to think about me? The biggest thing is come back to that center. Think about what's important. Like, what is important to you? Why are you here? You know, and really just peace out and chill out and let your mind go. Don't let it stress you out. All right. Now, the other thing that I'm kind of stressing about a little bit with you guys is that I'm finding, and I wonder if I'm to blame, because at the start I really stressed about posting and I was confused about how people would perceive me, or I didn't want to come across as annoying, or, you know, I didn't want to lose friends because they wouldn't want to watch my news feeds anymore. So I really, that was my stress, that was my shit, and I had to deal with it. I had to overcome it and think, you know what, if people really love me and they really care for what I stand for, they'll understand I'm passionate about this, and they'll understand that I really want to use it as a vessel to make my life better. And, you know, it was that simple. If people still these days, like, I feel much better about it now, but if people judge what I do and if people still have an issue with the MLM industry, then they're just uneducated. They really don't understand that this business is amazing. The model helps so many people, and the model perpetuates a positive environment to be in because everybody wants to help each other rather than competing. And if they don't understand that, you've kind of got to feel a little bit sorry for them. Like, I don't take it to heart anymore. But it wasn't until I believed that myself, and I really truly believed it, that I felt okay with it. So they kind of reflect both on both. If you're upset about posting, or you're a little bit unsure about posting, you need to find what limiting belief you have. Okay, so maybe you don't understand the products yet. Maybe you don't see results yet. Maybe, you know, you don't understand the MLM industry yet, which is okay. For me, I didn't. Now I'm in love with it. I could never go back to a normal job. But now it's different. When I first started, you know, I didn't want to be a pyramid scheme, and I didn't want people to think I was recruiting them. And it was all these thoughts that I had to overcome. Okay, so go and read things. Read GoPro. Go and watch, you know, all of the Eric Worre, or who's the other? Danny Martin. If you've ever seen Danny Martin, he's amazing. He's the gentleman who brought Juice Plus to Australia. But go and look at these, the people that are making millions. I love Simon Mitchell. He does the Network Marketing Mastery page on Facebook, and he also has the event coming up after Game Plan. He's amazing, and he's so relatable because he's just, you know, he's normal, but he's making a fortune out of doing this business because he's passionate about it and he makes sense of the industry. So for you guys that are having doubts around the MLM industry, go and have a look. Go and really dig deeper, because I promise you, if you look hard enough, you'll realize that you should have been doing this years ago. Okay? And then sometimes, you know, you mightn't have belief in your team, you might not have belief in people, or you might not have belief in yourself. And, you know, like I said at the start, that was one that for me, I was just so ready to start loving myself and to put myself first that I really excelled a lot in the start. But if you're still having those issues, then there's still things that you're going to have to overcome and step on and do a lot of self-worth, because not only will that help your business, but it's going to help you personally as well. So for me, I'm a spiritual person. I love reading spiritual work and focusing on, you know, my heart center and what I want out of my journey here on earth, rather than just coming and living and then dying. You know, I want it to be something deeper, but I understand not everybody has that thought. So, you know, you could go and read cognitive behavioral things that you could go and do to really strengthen your mind and strengthen your belief that you can handle things like this. That's if you're scientifically inclined. If you're religiously inclined, go and read some gospels and read prayers about gratitude and belief and, you know, how amazing we are as human beings. There's so many different parts that we can utilize. So there's no really excuse. You know, some people can say to me, I'm not as hippie as you. And that's awesome. You know, go and find what it is that you're passionate about that's going to help you grow, because you don't have to be hippie to grow. I promise you. So yeah, that's just a little bit about belief and finding those limiting beliefs. And then once you do, you shouldn't have any issues with posting. But to be honest, for a little bit while you do that work, you're just going to have to fake it till you make it. Okay? Just put it out there. Look at the people who are doing well. Find them. You know, what do you like about their post? What got you liking their post and thinking, hey, this is cool, I would actually read this. I don't think this is, you know, spammy shit. I like it and it would probably get my attention. Don't go and copy and paste it. because it takes away the authenticity and it doesn't really make it you. And then that's where I find that your target audience will be like, oh, what the fuck is she on? You know, this doesn't sound like her. She's being brainwashed. You know, that's when all that kind of crazy stuff can come into it where they don't understand it. That's why I do encourage you to find what you like, pick it out, find why you like it, and turn it around and make it yours. Now, at the start, you know, people always say to me, I don't know what to post. Write that. So, you know, look, this is really scary for me. I don't know what to post, but I want to let you guys all know that I'm starting this venture. I'm loving this, you know, this product, and it's giving me really good results. That's all you have to do. It's so honest and it's so brutally you that people are going to recognize and they'll respond to that. And then they'll just say, oh, what is it? You know, that sounds cool. Or, you know, they'll give you a little bit of a pat on the back for doing it. You don't have to make your first poster, here's Juice Plus and it's amazing. It can cure eczema and show a beautiful testimonial. Nobody's going to care about that, okay? They'll say, oh, yeah, that might be cool. But until you actually hit that real authentic spot and you make it you and you make your target audience connect with you, connect with Juice Plus and connect with them, that's when the magic starts to happen. So don't stress at the start about posting something perfect. Just post something from your heart. And if you have results, that's what you should be posting, you know, regardless of what those results are. They could be, you know, that you had a fungal toe and it was disgusting and you could never take your shoe off, but taking Juice Plus has completely healed it and now you can wear sandals to the beach. Sure, that's embarrassing. You know, it's something you wouldn't want to air to people, but there's probably other people out there with fungal feet that are embarrassed. You know, it's things like that, the tiny little difficult details are what pushes this product out from everybody else. Okay, so, you know, for me, it was amazing for my depression and anxiety. And because I was in such a crappy state, taking this just made my life 100%. So, you know, that was scary to put out there on Facebook. That was something very vulnerable to me that a lot of people close to me didn't even know I suffered. But it wasn't until I put it out there, I had friends and, you know, dancing colleagues and things messaging me that I never even knew they suffered as well, because we were all sitting there in silence, too frightened to let down the walls. And it made me realize that that vulnerability is our biggest gift and it's our biggest seller. If we want to make this business work, be vulnerable and be you, you know, and really just put that out there to the universe. Because if you're doing that and you're being strong and convictive in that, even if you're voicing that it does make you scared, it's really going to work for you, okay? Yeah, I love that, Leonie. I love cracked heels. See, that's perfect. How many people out there would have cracked heels but just never say it? You know, it's exactly those little things. For me, you know, yeah, that's the hard thing, Desi. Social media, Desi says here, sorry for the recording ones. She says, I have lots of comments on my posts, even the business ones, but no actual interest. Now, what I would say to you is that social media is great and it's definitely a platform, but it's not always going to be a seller, especially when you're dealing with people you don't know, because it's relationships and connections that sell this as a vessel to people. To be honest, I knew Lauren. We went to school since we were 7 together and I still didn't believe in the business. You know, so if somebody told me on a Facebook site, yeah, you should come and join this thing, it's awesome, I make lots of money, I would never have taken it for real. So that's kind of where sometimes, you know, like Joe, Desi, all my other family daycare ladies, exactly, that's what I was going to say, they jumped at it. And there's people out there that will, so don't give up. I'm not saying definitely don't use that avenue, because there's people out there who are so ready on their divine path to find something like Juice Plus that no matter what happens, they will find it and they will say yes. But there's a lot of people like me who are caught up in our own shit who won't. So don't be discouraged by having interest. What I would suggest there is, if you have interest, go and make them your friends. Add them to your Facebook, okay? I would probably screen them a little bit first to make sure that they're not too creepy, but just make sure that you're connecting further with that. Even if they don't come back to it, even if they don't accept your friend request. What you're doing is you're connecting to a long-standing relationship. So they're now going to see all of your stuff on Facebook, all of your posts, all of your working from home posts, all of your subtle hints, you know, how much better your life has been since this comes in. The amount of people I've had, so, you know, like I said, I started 7 months ago. There's quite a few people that approached me at the start. When I took on my influx of family daycare ladies, I sent out like 60 messages and I've got 4 of them, you know, but out of those 60, I'm probably friends on Facebook with about another 10. And mind you, over the last 2 months in particular, I've had 4 of them re-message me. So I haven't spoken to them for 4 months, but they've been watching my stuff on Facebook because we're friends. And now we're building that relationship. Now they know I'm actually a real person and I've got real family and it is really working for me. So now that that's building up and that foundation is being laid, they're starting to ask more questions and respond better. So what I want to kind of convey through all that is to don't feel lost. Don't feel like you're losing hope. You may not get any bites, but you're building amazing foundational blocks to build your house on, or empire. Let's just make it an empire, not a bloody house. So with that, make sure that you're connecting outside of that post. I know for me, my business page, I get so many likes, but nobody says they want information. So I've been going back through now and I've been screening, which is probably really judgmental of me, but I go through and I think, you know what, you live close to me or you live close to team. I want to be friends with you, you know, and, you know, I like your vibe. I like that you're posting good content. I like that you've got a spiritual quote in your background because I know that we're going to resonate well. And I add them to my friends list. And who knows, you know, I may never hear from them again. They may become friends and that's it. Yeah, and we'll just keep it going. If you've done that, that's awesome, Des, because it'll keep it up. It'll keep it up. But, you know, then you may get people that come back and say to you, oh, what is this product again? You know, 4 months down the track. So it's really just about understanding that even though sometimes you feel like you're doing the right things, it's still not going to pay off. Okay, you're doing the right things, but you're building a base. You're building the base. And if you can be consistent with building that base, it will slowly form into an empire. And I can tell you that by looking at people who do this business. I know my leaders in here, they didn't wake up one day and be overnight successes. And I feel a little bit lucky because I did. You know, there was no stage that I stopped. I've always had team coming in and I've always had customers coming in, and I understand that that's an anomaly. But for me, I put that back to the fact that I've done a lot of work on myself and I was so ready to tackle anything that got in my way, and I wasn't kind of gonna bury anything again. So if you guys are finding that, if you're finding that things aren't working, know that it's not necessarily a bad thing. It could just be that you're building up and being consistent. That's what we say, you know, consistency is the heart of this business. It really is. And I can see that in Miranda and Trace and Joe, and I know Desi and Jess are going to be next because they've been the ones who are putting in the hard work and doing the right things. And I know that by them doing that, it's just the law of attraction. You know, if you're doing the right things, it will eventually work, as long as you're tackling any issues that you know are outstanding. Does that make sense? I hope a little bit. So Desi, can you just put in your comments there, are you adding them to your friends? Do you ever hear from them again, or you just get nothing back? And bear in mind, sometimes too, guys, yeah, awesome, Des. So that's cool. So you're doing all the right things. Absolutely all the right things. Sometimes you have to remember too, Facebook is such an easy way to be a sticky beak. You're just going to get people who are just having a little goosey. They're lost, Desi, if they don't want to be friends with you. You're a classic. But just, yeah, it's just a way for them to have a goosey. And sometimes it's annoying because you think, sweet, someone's replied to my ad, I'm going to message them. And then they don't message you back. You're like, Jesus, what a waste of my time. But it's going to happen. And it's really a numbers game. You know, I sat down and had coffee with Lauren this morning, and she talked to me about she did 3 months of recruiting, and in those 3 months she brought on 27 team. So in 3 months. Now, I wouldn't recommend anybody do that. I think that was her proving a point to herself because she'd really battled some demons. But she said out of those 27, 4 worked, you know, and that was because it's a numbers game. You know, she had 27 teams, so you'd think, sweet, you'd be stoked, you'd have a booming business. Only 4 actually really wanted it, and 4 are still around today. Okay, so it really just goes to show that, yes, you want team, but you want the right team. So make sure that you're really building those foundations strong and being selective of who you invite into your energy. And dare I say it, I think I did a training on this a long time ago, but you don't want to be desperate because people smell it. People know it, and people don't understand the true beauty of the business. So if you can come into it, even though you may feel desperate on the inside and you may feel frustrated because you're not getting those team, fake it till you make it. Remember, that's what we need to say all the time in here, because as soon as they smell that on you, they feel like they're doing you a favor, which is so not true. You know, anybody who's been in this business long enough and starting to see the paycheck rise and starting to see the personal growth development, you know, Lauren did me a favor. She did me a massive favor by bringing me into this business because it changed my whole life. So if you go out there and you think, you know, I want team, but I only want team who I can help and who want to be helped, change the perspective around, because then it makes you more picky, it makes you more selective, and it also makes the people that are coming towards you more attractive. Okay, I know it's the most frustrating thing when you're getting team and they don't want it like you want it. So really put it out there that you're going to get good team and you're going to be really strong through that team. Okay, you don't smell. I promise you don't smell, Des, but it's sometimes, you know, when I go back to the start and I talk about my mum talking to her cells, yes, that's crazy shit, but it worked. And you know why it works? Because our thoughts are energy. Every little thought that we put out radiates on a vibration. And I talked to you guys about it on last training about Dr. Emoto. He has the 2 vials of water. One he puts love at all the time, and the other one he puts fear and hate towards. And, you know, you can go and watch these videos and actually see the results for yourself. That's Dr. Emoto if anybody's interested. But it is amazing. And it goes to show that what you think, regardless of how well you think you pull it off, it will attract you things. So if you're stressing and you're fearful about things, and then that's the thought you're putting out when you're resonating team, you're not going to get that proper stuff back. And that's why I say to you, find those limiting beliefs early and try your hardest to knock them down, because if you continue to do lots of work with those thoughts inside your head, it's pretty much redundant. Dr. Emoto, here, I'll put it up here. He's a champion. Hang on, baby. Yeah, so that's just, you know, a little bit about what I wanted to touch on tonight. I know it seems a little bit crazy kind of going through everything, but really work on that mindset. When you feel frightened, when you feel fearful, when you feel like you're not good enough, go back to that place of love. Imagine that big, beautiful white light that goes through all of us, because that's all we are. You know, we may have a body, we may have things that we don't like about ourselves, but they're personalities and their body. They're not our soul. And they're not here on this journey with us, you know, to do miraculous things. They're just our vessel. So if we want to make shit work, you need to go soul level and you need to go back to your authentic self and really work out what issues are inside of you. Okay? So go back, imagine that light, find your state. So many people spend their whole life in states of anger or in states of pain or feeling sorry for themselves, and that's all they're going to perpetuate. That's all they're going to get in life, and they're going to constantly grow year after year into that hate, that anger, and that festering. So what I really encourage you guys to do is to find that light, find that love, and find your passion, because this business is so passionate. Use that passion and fucking make something amazing. You know, we look at things. I went to school with Lauren. She's absolutely no one special. You know, she's just like us, just like all of us. Her last paycheck, and she told me this that I could share it, so I'm not being rude. Her last paycheck was $20,000 for a month. A month. You know, like, that is the possibility that this business has. But you know what? She has gone through so much shit to get there. Absolute shit. She has gone deep within herself. She's done self-development. She's done personal development. She has really pushed forward to make this business work for her. So, you know, don't sit there and give you an excuse to say, oh, yeah, but she doesn't have kids, or she doesn't, you know, feel this way about herself, or she's fine because she's young, or, you know, these excuses, they're your limiting beliefs, and they're just cushioning that little story that you tell yourself to stay small. Okay, we're not made to be small. We're made to make $20,000 a month and go and fucking live our dreams and do that shit that we want to, because working 9 to 5 is no fun for anybody. Well, you know, my daycare mums that work 6 to 6, or, you know, the crazy stuff in life that we're doing just to pay bills. Like, how nice would it be to get that 20 grand in your bank for this month? What would you do with it? What kind of freedom could it make you have? And, you know, that's the kind of stuff that we want to live. That's the dreams that we want to keep pushing. So when life seems hard and when you're telling yourself those excuses, get back in that state of, don't tell yourself excuses, don't feed yourself bullshit, and don't let those limiting beliefs sit there, okay? Because they serve no one. If you want to know a little bit more about limiting beliefs, I know Linda does an amazing training on it. Go and have a look at it and just work out, you know, if you find yourself telling yourself an excuse, write it down and work out where it came from and work out why it's there, because that's the best way to annihilate it and to move on and get ourselves those nice big paychecks and make contribution, because that's what we want. You know, we don't just want a cool paycheck. We want to know that we're helping people and that we're contributing to a better life for others, not just ourselves. And that literally is the beauty of our business, right? Because we can't get there without helping others do it as well. And again, yes, like, Lauren may be making that amount of money, but she should, because she changed my life. If I could give her 20 grand a month, I would, you know, and I'm one of 40 or something she's got in Frontline at the moment. So it just goes to show that, yes, the business is amazing. Yes, there's a lot of potential in there. Yes, it is hard work, but it is so worth it. Like, if you can keep at it and you can really push through this self-development and the times where you feel shitty, you're really going to pay for it later in life. You will. You know, add Linda on Facebook, the life that she has. Now, if you imagine, let's just play a little bit of game of maths. Now, Lauren earns 20K a month at the moment. She's 50 club. Linda is just about to go 400 club. So work out how much that is a month that Linda makes. Okay? Linda's been doing it 7 years, and she is a goddess. She has given so much of her life and her heart to helping others make a fortune and to create something amazing. It is a gazillion, Desi. But if you're in her presence, you feel like you're in the presence of an angel, because she is so beautiful and so willing to help other people. And that, when I reflect back and say that I was scared to be wealthy because I didn't want to be a negative person, Linda is my wealthy person that I want to be now. You know, she is my good example of what it's like to be wealthy, because she gives back. She loves, she helps, she gives back. She looks after herself, and she looks after her team as well. So really work it out. Dig deep. Don't be frightened to dig deep, and don't sit in your bullshit excuses. If I can give you anything, because that's what I see a lot of people do, and sometimes I just want to slap you guys, because it's so easy from the outside to see it, and it's even harder to see it from your point of view. But don't be frightened to dig that deep and really tackle what the issue is, because we all have them. in life we all come on a journey, and I believe we all write our own paths, and we all know what we want to battle this life. And if we don't think about it in depth, we'll never overcome it. You know, you see people that they approach a subject that they don't like, and instead of overstepping it and problem solving, they just piss bolt back the other way. And then that's where you're never going to get over and keep seeing those dreams start to happen. So if I can encourage anything from this training, it's go and know yourself a bit better. Okay, work out what those beliefs are that are holding you back, why it is that you really want this business to work, and what state your mind is in that's going to get you there. Is it in a positive state? Is it in a negative state? Is it in an angry state? Are there things that are totally un-JP related that you need to go back and visit first? Okay, for me personally, I see so many people come into this business and they're angry at something else. They might be angry at their ex-partner. They might be angry at being dismissed from their last job. And they're issues that they're still holding on to. And that's why it's not kind of coming through and working together for this one, because their mind and their belief system is in conflict. That's personally where I find going back into that light and meditating and clearing your mind of all the other bullshit, it'll really clarify what it is that's you need to do. But, you know, hey, meditating's not for everybody, but I do truly believe that there is so much power in stilling your mind and working on your thoughts and your manifesting. Because like I said, I've seen it firsthand work for my mum. I've seen her 40 years of steroids and injections and having organs removed and all sorts of stuff. And she spent a good 6 months talking to her cells and learning how to differentiate her energy levels and her mind vibrations. And nothing in her body. Her specialists couldn't find any sign of her autoimmune condition, which is crazy. You know, it's crazy, right? You know what the doctor said? And I love this for anybody who's had a customer say that they can't take JP because of, you know, their doctor or something. But her specialist said to her, oh, the medication must have finally worked. So after 45 years, he believed that it was his medication that got her better and not the power of the mind and the power of the body. So crazy stuff. But you know what? That's his shit. And one day, hopefully, he will overcome that and realize that he's limiting himself and lots of other people because of it. But just don't be one of those people that uses those excuses. All right, I'm getting way off topic, so I won't keep talking. But I'm going to take you all off mute. And I'd love to hear if anybody's got any questions or anything happening. I'm recording this, so I know we've got a few of you guys who have team that can't get on. I'll try and upload it later tonight. And then I'll just let you guys know when it's on. Okay, so I'm going to stop recording. Bye, everybody.